Hey guys, welcome to Cosplay Cave. It is our first episode today. I am super excited. Are you? I'm supposing that you are. So I'll introduce our guests. So we have two people with us today. If you guys follow me on Twitter at Rosie Stormborn, you would have seen them already. And if you guys follow Beanduck, you guys would have seen who our guests are today. So let's introduce. So our first guest is the lovely Bandit Spurs.
Hello.
So I'm gonna start off with how we met. Because I spoke about this on our stream on Saturday.
Okay.
And I just like remember 3 years ago going to Anime North. And I was kind of a con noob like at that point. So I really looked up to all these like big cosplayers who would make all these crazy things. And I was like, one day that'll be me. And so I saw you in your femme Ganondorf.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just like, I need a photo with her. And like we were friends of friends. Like,
yeah.
I was like,
you were wearing League of Legends.
Yeah, I was Katarina.
Yeah. I don't know any of the characters, but I know it's from League of Legends.
So. I knew you were from Zelda, so I was like, gotta get a photo with her. So that's what I did. I kind of like crept up and was like, hey, you're Chelsea, right? Aww. And can we get a photo with you? I should have sent him the photo so he could have shown it, because I still have it on my phone.
I have it not on my phone, but I have it on my desktop actually.
Oh, really?
Not on my desktop background, but I have it on my desktop computer still.
Oh my god.
Yep.
So yeah, since then I really got to like know you as like Chelsea, as the person that you were, and got to see all the other amazing cosplays that you did. So I'm gonna start by asking you, what was the most fun cosplay to make for you?
Fun? Actually, okay, so it's one of my favorite costumes and it's one of my most enjoyed costume to make. It was Angel-Woman, actually. Because
we're gonna get to that.
Yeah,
we're gonna get to
the process of making the wings was really satisfying to me, and just wearing that costume brings me so much joy.
Brings me joy.
Because it's like one of those costumes, like a lot of costumes get really good reactions from people, but when people see Angel-Woman brought to life, like especially the big Digimon fans, like it just strikes a chord with them, and I love that feeling so much. And I've not got the same reaction in other costumes like I get with Angel-Woman, and it just brings me so much happiness.
We're gonna get back to that because that was my other encounter with you, and I talked about it on Saturday too. I was like, I remember going down the escalator at Otakuthon and just seeing those damn wings. I was like, that's Chelsea!
As I'm like entirely blind, there's just voices coming out of like the ether and that helmet that she has.
It's because you can't really see, right? You're like
no.
Trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
So we're gonna jump to our next cosplayer. So
hello,
Emilie from Emilie Gauvin Creations. So the one cosplay that stuck for me that you made was Lux.
Oh,
for
yeah.
Sure. Star
the
Guardian.
one that gets the most attention at cons. It's League of Legends. Everybody likes League of Legends, so it's just
Agreed.
Everybody knows what it is.
I am a huge League of Legends fan for people who don't know. So I was always wanting to make either like a Star Guardian Lux or something, and I just never thought I had the skill for it. So I just admired everybody else who was wearing them, and you were one of those people. And I remember meeting you for the first time and talking about 3D prints. You guys are gonna see. We're gonna go through some. You don't see the wig head right now.
They don't see the.
But we're gonna get to that. But on the point of 3D prints and how you got into that and how to start incorporating into cosplay, what was one of your favorite things to make and to wear?
Oh yeah, I actually have not made that much 3D printing. Like I only recently started incorporating it more ever since I figured out the best way to essentially finish them to the point where they're smooth enough and I'm satisfied enough to incorporate them to my costumes. But I would say, I'm saying that because my favorite costume to wear is actually has like almost no 3D print, almost no armor, nothing. It's Susie Manbavaran.
You look
from
so
good.
The
new Jack yeah, I love her so much.
I like the shoot you did for that because it looks really real. I don't know who did those shots, but
okay, that's because it's dry ice. The smoke is real. I went out of my way.
I was like, how did she do
all
this?
the way to Laval to get some dry ice just for this shoot. which we had to go all the way to the West Island to like my friend's property, which is like this old castle in like the middle of nowhere.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
She found a castle, guys. Just
yeah. Well, it's not mine. It's not mine. But it's like their old property. No one lives there anymore. It's like on sale and stuff. So I asked if we could go to shoot Susie because, well, witches, and they essentially study in a castle. And I took this at the same time. I shot my friend in his Trevor Belmont. So.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, that's where it was shot too. They were shot like on the same day.
I didn't see the Trevor Belmont photos at all. Who was
It's my friend. Come on. He's not a
He's not a cosplayer?
No,
I didn't see those photos at all.
There's so many cosplayers like that.
He was very lucky. It was his birthday gift.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's really
pretty
nice.
blessed.
So you take photos too, right?
I just started. I'm a super noob. I just decided to try it, to dabble in it. I edited one picture so far. It's okay.
I'll clap to that. Your future photographer career.
Yeah, well, it's just, I love shooting with people, but it's just so pricey at some point that you can't necessarily afford doing it all the time.
Yeah.
So it's good to be able to maybe do a bit by yourself, and then every once in a while you can treat yourself to a nice shoot with like a
Yeah, your favorite
talented-
photographers, yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Because we have
Thing.
an enormously talented pool of photographers here
In Montreal.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So many.
We
So
love
many.
you all so much.
Yes, all of you.
We don't not want to pay you. We agree with all of everything you guys charge, okay?
Oh,
we just
yeah,
gotta
no.
balance it.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's worth every penny, and they
Yeah.
deserve to be fully paid. So if you can't afford it, don't haggle it for lower.
No.
Just do it yourself.
Exactly. So on that note, so I just want to take a moment to thank our sponsor, Artawigs Canada. So Artawigs Canada really helped us get this kick-started. I know that you're also, I was waiting for her to pull this up.
I'm gonna put this out here. Have I got the Canada side? Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Do your thing. It's okay.
All right,
I'll
so
just sit here.
Artawigs Canada just wanted to thank you so much for the stream. This is the Canadian branch of the Chicago-based Artawigs. So thank you for all of your help and everything that we got for our stream, including this lovely wig head and some of our accessories here that we'll go through. I know that you're wig styling, so.
Yeah, it's actually from Arda, so it's a chibi in warm brown.
So if anybody wanted to. Did you get your wefts from Arda as well?
Yes, I don't have them with me. Oh yeah, you had to color match, so. Yeah.
Exactly.
And they were on special. I don't know if the chibis are still on special, but they were on special, so my husband went to bed and my friend was over. We just started shopping on Arda, and we're like,
She's like, what do I buy?
And she also needed a chibi, so.
The chibis are super versatile. I love them so much.
She needed them. She's doing Star Guardian Poppy. I'm gonna have a Star Guardian to my Star Guardian.
Again.
I'm so excited.
Do you want to rotate it a bit and I'll continue my spiel?
Yeah.
So, Artawigs Canada is dedicated to bringing Canadian cosplayers, costumes, wig enthusiasts with a wide variety of wigs that are suitable for any situation, as y'all can see.
It looks a little ugly right now, but it's gonna be nice once I'm done with it.
It'll be fine. It's a quality that you can trust. That's why we usually tend to go with Arda.
Oh yeah, and you get so much hair.
Volume of fibers.
So much fiber.
So Artawigs Canada is excited to bring the famed Lumens Workshop phone products now in North America. So these are high quality products of EVA foam dowels and ultralight foam clay. So you can shop all of everything I just spoke about, as well as the wigs and the products and the hair detanglers as well on their shop, which is www.artawigscanada.ca. Awesome. So I'm so glad that you guys had the products. I was like, let's go through them a bit.
It was a coincidence, but I guess it was a
Was it a coincidence? I think. So, that being said, since we're on the topic of your head right there.
Yes.
So she rotated it a bit. I don't know if you guys can tell.
But it's my face.
It's her face.
Yes, it's a 3D scan of my head, essentially. So it's like this, they put like these little dots on your face, and then it's this machine that they essentially rotate around, and it like sees the dots and registers, like you see it on screen kind of registering, and then it's a PDF file, like a 3D PDF file.
Of
You
your
can print
face.
it, of my
Your
face.
whole 360.
Yeah, it could get more, it could
Cabeza.
be your bust, you could keep going, but I mean, I just wanted my face so I could style wigs on it, and I can do prosthetics, so they're essentially two.
That's true. You don't
Yeah.
have to be like, oh God, have you ever
Yeah.
made a mask and had to like heat
Yep.
up foam, place it on your face to like mold it, and you're like, I hope this doesn't, I don't get permanently scarred.
I have actually made out of Warbler, like my mask for Noir from Persona 5 is made from Warbler, covered in like stretchy leather, and you start on a foam head, but then you want it to like fit you, so you like reheat it up a bit, and you're like, ow, 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 ow.
But I need it to be my face, so it can't be this random face.
No, exactly. So that would be perfect for that. So masks, anything really.
So if anybody wants to get their head 3D printed,
this is a good.
Well, I don't have the machine. Well, I do not have the machine.
Can you just like turn it to the camera and just like put your face next to it? Because it's really uncanny. Like I just don't know how I feel about this. She brought it in, she unwrapped it, and she's like, "This is a 3D print of my face." And I was like, oh God, I cannot unsee.
No.
Has it become sentient yet?
No.
Terrifying.
It is not sentient.
Actually, you had said that you were thinking of doing prosthetics on it. What do you think, like it having like the textured surface like that, would the prosthetics stick to it? Or are you gonna seal it or do some kind of polish on it?
I guess I would have to seal it first. I don't know. It's an idea that I had for an upcoming project. Next year.
Okay. You've got plenty of time to process.
I don't know.
Cosplayers just planning things way ahead of time.
No,
and then changing the plans like a week before.
No, that will not change because my husband and I want to go to FanFest 2020 in Las Vegas, which is like Final Fantasy, like the Final Fantasy convention.
Big builds.
Yeah, so we wanted to do our little Lalafell characters from Final Fantasy 14. So we were thinking of doing prosthetics to make our nose look smaller, maybe our lips look smaller, and like have a more creature like this.
Damn, girl, y'all.
No. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
It's a we'll see.
Like we'll tempering our expectations already a year out.
Well, if it doesn't work out, we'll just be a Mikote or one of the bunny girls or something.
There's just plenty of Final Fantasy characters that you can be. Take your pick.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're going to be working on a wig. What are you working on, Chelsea?
I have a small assortment of Summoner Yuna things. So I'm working on her obi right now. I had done satin stitching on it today to do some of the vine detailing because there was no way I was embroidering this by hand. Every now and then I take on a project that I have to just treat as something that's super relaxed. Because I take on big projects and I kind of burn myself out on them. And then I take on projects that I define as my relax or like kind of like my decompressing projects.
So like you don't give yourself a time limit, let's say, like if I get it done for this convention, great. If not.
No time limit, no pressure. If I want to do things the simple way, then I'll do them the simple way. If I want to do things based off of a commercial pattern as opposed to drafting everything myself, then I'll just buy a commercial pattern and I'll work like that. Yuna is one of those projects. She's been on my to-do list for years. One of my first costumes was Gunner Yuna.
I remember that costume.
I love that one
Another
so much. Yeah. So one of my first ones was Gunner Yunas, and so Summoner was always on my to-do list. And after doing Breath of the Wild Zelda last summer and like killing myself over her,
guys, do go check out her page so that you can see all these amazing costumes.
I will say I am very proud of my Breath of the Wild Zelda, the Royal Zelda. I was really proud of that costume, but there was a couple times that I think there's a picture that one of my friends took of me literally laying on my floor with slippers on, wrapped in the lining of the fabric because nothing was working, and I just rolled into it and I hot dogged myself.
You're like, I'm done.
And just like moaned sadly
Bandit
for a
Spurs
little
burrito.
bit. Yeah, that was it.
Thank you.
I was a Bandit Spurs burrito. So I'm like, let's just take on something a little bit softer. So Yuna is getting satin stitching as opposed to hand embroidering. I painted details as opposed to doing other stuff, and I'm like, I'm okay with this. Sometimes you have to temper your own expectations.
You really do.
Yeah. So I'm working on this, and I brought some fabric in case I get bored with this stuff to start on my newest project that I haven't done anything on yet. If I start working on it, this will be the first steps that I take in this new project.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like it. I can't wait to see it. Like, I mean, Yuna was a character in Kingdom Hearts, right?
Oh,
wasn't she
Final
like,
Fantasy?
Yeah, she's Final Fantasy, but like Dissidia or
she was like shoved in there. At some point.
They did that with some Final Fantasy characters. They put them into.
It's like, oh, surprise.
I don't really know. I'm not a Kingdom I'm not a Kingdom Hearts person. I never got into it.
No, me neither.
I started playing it, and as everyone says, I got stuck on the Tarzan level on like the PlayStation 2, and I said,
the second one, yeah. I was gonna say,
F it, and I never went back. So yeah.
I mean, I don't blame you. But if you were to replay the game now, I guarantee it's
Where should I
just
put my list?
pressing X and casually.
Yeah, when I spend like the next 7 years kind of trying to catch up on the lore on YouTube, I would have a great time.
If you want to get lost in something, something fun to look up.
Just look at what's his name? That YouTuber is really funny. He did like a whole sum up of like Kingdom Hearts, the timeline, but it literally makes no sense, and apparently it's really accurate. It's Donkey. Video game Donkey. He did a whole sum up of it. I don't know if you guys know him. He's hilarious. He did a whole sum up of
Probably
it.
like 3 hours long.
No, he does it in like 5 minutes, and apparently it's accurate. But I know nothing about Kingdom Hearts. I was just listening to him like, what?
Really? How can this all be real?
So we have a question for you, Emilie. So someone had asked, what kind of price point could you expect for one of those 3D prints?
Okay, so I got the head scan at my job, and it didn't cost me much. I won't say how much because it's kind of confidential, but I will say that getting it printed was $100, and that was a friend, that was like a friend price if you want. $100 for just the print, so that's without the scan. But if you were to get it scanned and printed, I don't know. It might be almost a few $100s for sure.
Yeah, easy.
The whole process.
Because they were telling me that the machine itself is like the price of a small sports car.
What? Well,
Yeah.
okay, now we have an idea.
Scanning. Yeah, the scanner. Well, that's what they told me, but it's not mine, so I don't know much about it. I don't work in that department. I just asked for a favor because we 3D print the artists' heads like that for the hats and stuff. You guys don't know where I work, do you?
No.
No.
So it makes no sense. I work at Cirque du Soleil.
No way.
Yes.
Oh.
That's why. So
We spoke about this. How did I forget this interesting factoid?
That is so cool.
Don't mind me as I just tuck my feet under my butt to make me taller.
So they used to cast the artists' heads and have them made out of like plaster, but they're very fragile. So eventually they swapped to this, and now we're starting to have more heads that look more like, well, not quite like this one. The machines they use a bit different, but yeah. So they make the hats or the masks or like anything that's skin tight around their head. They use the mold of the artist's head.
Wow. I never knew that. Like the things that Cirque du Soleil does that we don't even realize.
A lot of cool stuff.
Fire PHX, what's up? So it says hashtag cosplay cave. I'm about to start and go into my first cosplay ever as Tuxedo Mask or Moonlight Knight.
Oh.
What advice can you give me as me being a noob and starting my first cosplay project? You've done the Sailor Moon.
I've done Sailor Neptune.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love your Sailor Neptune. You're so pretty.
I love wearing it. Actually, I like this question because when I first started cosplaying, a lot of the resources that I kind of delved into were secondhand stores. And there's such a good place to go when you're first starting cosplaying, or even if you've been cosplaying for years and years and years, and you're like looking to find that one piece that you don't really necessarily want to invest the time into making.
Yeah.
Tuxedo Mask. Go to Value Village, go to secondhand stores, like especially after.
So true.
Like especially like after the holiday times or after like prom time, and people are
like,
clearing out their
"Take my
closets
suits."
of their suits. Go buy yourself a suit. You can make yourself a mask with
Is
some
the
craft
suit
foam.
custom? Like, is it a regular suit or is it like,
I
does
think
it
it's
have a
got-
funky design?
I think
don't
it's got
remember.
tails. It's
it's
got the very
Okay.
piece like
Well, I mean,
suit.
Yeah, but
type
still, like
thing.
if it's
That
your
makes sense.
if it's your first costume and you're looking
Yeah.
for something to ease yourself into the community and like it's a good stepping stone, you can find various pieces. Like you can just find yourself a black pair of pants and a vest from something else.
Don't make a black pair of pants. Don't do that.
Don't
buy them.
pants, pants
don't
and
make
gloves.
that.
Gloves is another thing that people think like, let me just like, I can't really find these gloves. I'm just gonna make these gloves. No, do not make the gloves.
No, buy them. Or you buy them, and then if they have some kind of cuff, you buy really, really long ones, and you just kind of shorten them and create a cuff with it. Yeah, that's what I did for Linko. Like, I'm not making gloves from scratch. Nah, it sucks. I had to do some recently, and I hated it.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
We just don't. No.
I also do not like making gloves. I do the really simple approach of like you just trace your hand and you
Like as if
outline
you're
your
drawing
hand.
like one of those hand turkeys.
Yeah.
Yes, it works. Can't argue with results.
It's a bricolage class all over again.
Oh yeah, but it works.
But,
you can't argue with
my
results.
God.
That's it. Like
works.
I'm just gonna fix my
I
mic.
really don't enjoy making gloves, but then my friend Megan Cosplay,
enjoys it?
she made her own glove pattern and she really likes making gloves. So
Like, but she did it like with the
can't
whole
relate.
like the
yeah, like gussets. For God's sakes.
Can't relate.
And she, wow, she got the perfect size for her hand, like perfect pattern.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
That's skills, guys. It's
gloves
like
are good.
artists who can draw hands in their pieces, you know? My art teacher used to always tell us, like, if you guys suck at drawing hands,
Wow, really supportive
don't.
art teacher.
just don't.
Just straight up.
I have the same rule with gloves and myself. If that's harsh but true.
Well, the gloves have nothing special. Like, there's no point in making them unless you're going, I guess, to like a
competition,
masquerade or
yeah.
a competition, yeah. There's no point.
Then put the efforts in.
We have a lovely comment from the wonderful Schmooberry. Yes, sir, evil. I know they are. And I have to deal with them.
I just wanted to shout out to Schmooberry since she's there.
What?
She introduced me to gem tack.
Gussets.
Gussets are evil. I love Juju's like, look again.
They're all looking at me, they're like,
Gussets are evil. I agree. Shmoo.
we're gonna take it down a notch.
Yeah. So yeah.
What are gussets?
They're the
Okay,
little,
so they're the nice gloves
Explain.
with the, like, essentially, instead of having the turkey
Doing the turkey.
and just having the two of them like sewn together, it's like any leather glove that isn't stretchy, you'll see like they have an extra piece here between the fingers. Like this.
Never noticed. The more you.
No, but just check
the
your, I'm sure you
gussets.
have winter gloves, just check them, you'll see. And that's what's evil. It's really hard to do because you have a piece that's like this wide and you're trying to like sew it here and then, like everything's falling apart and nothing's holding properly and you're like, this is the worst. I hate it. And then you try to put more seam allowance so you have more space to like sew. And then you try to sew and then none of your sewing are aligning properly because there's too much seam allowance. And then
So is that like the second layer of the glove?
No, it's like on
same
the
layer?
outside. It's really like
It's just at the curve, like the
yeah.
bottom?
Essentially, it's like you have a piece in the front, a piece in the back. Yeah, they're sewn here together, and then
I
there's
get what you're
another
saying.
piece here, another piece here, another piece here, and another piece here.
I'm learning, guys. This is great.
Yeah, don't make them yourself. Just buy them.
So, we got some new subscribers. Hey guys, welcome to our family. Okay, so King of Chardonnay. I love
does he
that.
want?
I like that. I like that.
That's my husband.
It's a cool name, bro.
Yeah.
And Eric Photo, I can guess who that is.
I think I know who that
I
is.
think we know who that is.
that's a very talented photographer right
Yes.
there.
10/10. Would recommend. I brought him to the castle with
would
me.
recommend.
I brought him to the castle with me. He did a good job.
It's true. You're gonna have people are gonna start messaging us and be like, "Excuse me, can you ask Emilie if she can give us the location of this castle so we could shoot
I
at?"
cannot. I cannot guess.
Oh, okay.
I think I already know where it is.
Castle.
Well, it's because it's not public. It's private property. So.
Oh, it's someone's property?
Yes.
Someone's castle? Okay.
Yeah.
Someone.
And it's not like a giganormous castle. It's more like a really, really big
It's like a manse.
house. Yeah, it's like a really big house, but it has like the outside has a like castle structure, and it's technically called a castle. But it's a private property, so I can't
jealous.
I can't say where it is.
I want to know where it is. I want to shoot there. Oh, and Cyberfox. Hello.
Hello.
More photographers. We've talked highly of the photographers, and they've just decided to roll on in.
Showing out in force.
Mention me.
Says, hi
They're all
everyone.
talented.
What is the one thing that when you look? Wait, whoa. Dyslexia. Chill. Okay. Hi everyone. What is the one thing when you look for in a finished edited cosplay photo? Wow. Oof.
Wow, a lot of things. I want to look pretty. Actually, the first thing I'll look is always my face. I want to make sure my face looks
Like
pretty.
you?
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
But also, like, I know I look, I don't want to sound vain. I look pretty, but there are better shots of you than others. So the first thing I'll look is at my face and how it's edited. I like when my lips look nice and soft. I don't think none of them understand what I mean by that, but it's okay.
Like you mean someone like blends your lips?
Well, like I don't like when they look dry, for instance. So I tend to have dry lips, so I'll always look at that. And if it's like nicely highlighted, like you can do extra highlights.
So like you want your face to be more contoured?
Not necessarily more contoured,
But more
just
highlighted.
nicely lit. Like if it was a bit mislit in that shot, you can kind of correct it afterwards in Photoshop.
Okay.
That's something I really look. Always my face is the first thing I notice, and then I notice everything else.
So it's like
Especially my costume. And then everything else is actually, how does my costume look? It has to look good. Because
Yeah.
that's what I'm putting forward more than my face, technically.
Sometimes when you see that little bra strap sticking out, or you're like,
Yeah, but never
the
be
little
shy.
flyaway. You're like,
Yeah, but never be shy to tell your photographer. Just like, hey, I noticed, like you probably didn't notice, but there's a just string here that's not supposed to be there. My bra's showing a little bit, or there's that random hair there.
yeah, you know.
Just tell them, and honestly, often it's like these things are really like an easy fix, and they'll fix it. Like,
So communication
experience.
with your photographers
Yes,
is
very
key
important.
for a nice, finalized, happy cosplayer product.
yes.
And how about you?
Well, of course, like the looking good factor is important, but when I think when I set up trying to do a photo shoot for a costume, what I'm looking for mostly out of it is trying to create a story or to create a feel. So when I do a photo shoot, I think that's probably like my paramount interest is to try and portray the character accurately, portray the costume as best as I can. I want to look good when it happens, of course.
Agreed.
And I also have had instances where people have over edited a bit too much past to like the point where I'm like, oh, I don't really look as natural as I wish I had. Like,
So it's not an issue with them over editing the environment, but over editing yourself.
which I can understand, like them wanting to do that because that's part of the process is to make your models look good. But like one instance, I had photos from a convention I went to down in the States last year, and the photos were so heavily edited that I didn't look
Just
like
keep
myself.
it vague. We don't want anyone coming after you now.
It was a convention from a ways. It was no one that I work with normally, and I was just like, they're good. They were good photos.
Thanks.
Just too edited.
It's fun. But
And some people like that though.
No,
I
some
feel
people really
some
like
people
it.
like that. Like they want to look as
they want to look
CGI'd
vogue.
as possible.
They want to look
essentially.
vogue and glamorous, and I'm like, that's great, but that's not.
But almost
that's not
sometimes
me. It
almost
doesn't
like
always work.
CGI. Like especially I find like a lot of Japanese cosplayers, like their photographers have a tendency to highly edit them to the point
my
where
God,
they look
the,
like CGI characters. But I like that. I think that's kind of
Blended
cool.
face.
But I wouldn't want it all the time. But from time to time, I think for certain characters, it looks.
And I
kinda
think
cool.
it might have been part of what it was, but I'm way too Anglo-Saxon to actually look like.
That's a good way to put it. She's like, it just doesn't fit.
I am from
my
the
aesthetic.
pale Moors, so there's only so much that can be done.
Oh, don't talk about yourself like that now, Chelsea. Come on, you look beautiful without the editing.
Also, you
you.
can do you can do like characters. Actually, you can do whatever the hell character you want.
Yeah, there we go.
There's characters like, for instance, your Sailor. You look super pretty. I think you suit the character super nicely, or your Zelda too, because you're very elfin. So there you go.
I wish that I had come into photography too. I wish I had come into cosplay sooner than when I did, because I was like 21 or so when I came into cosplay. But like it's let me live out all of my like teenage, like young girl fascinations of being an elf. So cosplay is liberating.
That's such a nice. Can someone quote that? That's beautiful.
I mean, and it's pretty accurate.
It is. If it's done like with the right intentions, it's definitely a really freeing experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the first 2 costumes I made. There's no picture alive. Maybe there is, but I don't have them with me. But the first one, there is no picture of it, and it was Sakura Cardcaptor because she was my favorite, and that was the first one I did. And then there's no existing pictures of it. It's like it never happened.
No.
The second one was Link because he was my favorite, and again, there's no picture of that one.
God damn.
No.
I always make sure to take all these obnoxious photos because I'm like, what if I don't get any good photos from any photographers or anyone? Like, I want to have them. Because when I started, I didn't really know any photographers. So
Same.
I just kind of took like these really cringy like mirror selfies, and I was like, I made a thing. And now I look back at them and I'm like, why is this even still saved?
Well, it's good to have actually.
It's like a silly memory.
I wish I still had a picture of my first costume.
Not
because-
even like a little like.
No, not even. No, nothing. I didn't have a phone at the time. I was very young. I didn't have a phone at the time.
Oh, you were young.
So selfies were not a thing. I'm old, guys. Selfies were not.
You don't need to disclose your age if you don't.
No,
want
I won't. But I'm just saying, I'm old.
I won't.
There's no
but,
such thing as selfie culture. Nobody did that. You go to cons, and then a few people probably grabbed my pictures, from what I remember.
So other people probably have photos of you on their.
You don't have.
Oh, it's so you don't have any of yourself.
No, not that one. But the second one, I have a few. They're terrible. They're over. But they exist.
Not any better. Not any better.
No, well, because I didn't have a lot of like friends that were cosplayers. I didn't have any. It was just me doing my own little thing by myself at the con. And then I had a friend who just came with me and had a camera and took some pictures. But he wasn't into cosplay photography. He wasn't into cosplay that much per se. So it took a long time before I got to a point where I actually started meeting more people from the community, and then eventually meeting some photographers. And honestly, my first big shoot was with Eric, and it was B from Being Puppy Cat, and it was paid. So I've never done a free shoot. I don't know if there's such a thing. I've never done one, and it's perfectly okay.
That's the way to go.
Eric was also my first official.
You too?
Yeah.
I think me too, actually. No, or was it Marco? I don't know who. It was definitely the same convention, but it was like, who did I shoot with first?
Yeah, that's so cool.
No, it was definitely Marco got me first, and then at Anime North when I had ran into you.
Yes.
And then
I think
YetiCon was Eric.
I think that same year. No, it was the year prior that Marco and I met each other. We did two photo shoots that weekend, and we hadn't met each other before. This is Marco Theorem Productions, by the way, in case he's watching.
We
shout out.
Very
love
likely
you.
is.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's very much watching.
You're like,
Hi, Marco.
yes, he is.
It was the year before that we had done our first two shoots together, like one on the Friday and I think one on the Saturday, and like we've been exceptionally fast friends ever since. So like,
Yeah.
Now, you guys work well together. Like, very well.
Marco, we love working together, and like it's just so cool that cosplay's brought me so many friends.
It took some time, but it happened at some point. I made friends.
Was it 'cause, like you were just a little more like introverted, like you liked your cosplay, you liked what you were doing, but you were kind of like, oh, okay.
I was shy, but also I got into it. I was already so old. I'm making it sound like I'm really old
Jesus,
now.
are you like 65?
No, I'm not that old, but when I got into it, I was already at an age where a lot of people already had their little cliques, already had their friends, they had their groups. So it took time to meet just one person, become a bit closer to that person, and through that person meet more people. And the first person was actually Eric, because that's the first person I shot with. And then eventually I shot with him again, and then we started hanging out more, and then we became close friends, and then eventually I met Marco, and then through Marco I met a bunch of other people, and then eventually I met Juju, and then it just grew from there. But at the beginning it was just,
She's referring
just
to
me.
the lovely
and all my
Julie
friends
who's
were
behind the
just
screen.
Yes, and all my friends were just not into anime, manga, or cosplay, so it was more like...
Are they really your friends then?
Yeah, well, I was a little more punk rock at the time. They were in bands
Oh,
and stuff,
okay.
so I was hanging out with the band.
I can relate. I can totally relate. That's how me and Marco know each other. I used to be in
Yeah?
a band, and Marco was doing like our photo shoots, and he went to Dawson with like some of my bandmates.
Yeah, same. It was at Dawson. I was at Dawson with a bunch of the guys from the band.
Dawson band people. Woo.
Yeah, essentially.
And then we started cosplaying like a bunch of nerds.
Yeah, and then I met that one person who was a little bit more nerdy, and I got into cosplay,
like,
but he
"Let's
never
do it."
did. No, he never did. It was just me.
Aw.
He talked about doing it, but he didn't end up doing it. It's okay.
Is this that one person that you married? Is that what you're talking about?
No.
Okay.
No,
Oh my
different
God.
person.
That one
This
person that I married is, I'm sorry, Jim Jam. He's my accessory, so he will wear whatever I tell him to wear.
Can
He's very
you
nice
just
about
really
that.
cosplay this? Don't worry, I'll make it for you. Just do what I say.
No, he's very nice. He's like, just do whatever. I'll wear it. But yeah,
The best.
We've had a lot of fun though. I think I can't speak for him, but I think he enjoyed we did the grunts from Pokemon, the team skull grunts.
Oh,
so I
yes.
was female, he was male, and I remember we had a lot of fun in those. So
You guys looked like you had a lot of fun.
just walking around.
Honestly, like comfortable, silly costumes are always the one you have the most fun in.
Yeah.
And you just like, we tend to like always plan our days and be like, okay, Saturday's gonna be the big costume.
Yeah, always.
Sunday's gonna be the chill costume, and Friday, I don't know, we'll see how I feel.
Yeah, somewhere in between.
Or like the Friday is the casual and the Sunday is
Okay,
the.
this year is gonna be all chill. I have no time for big costumes this year. It's all chill.
It's really cool to see that you guys are very realistic with your own like time management and know what you can do in a healthy amount of time without driving yourselves insane.
I think that might come with experience,
Yeah,
though. I
definitely.
might have been. Well, I mean, I was far more ambitious than I am now. Like in previous years, like there was other years I
Same.
did costumes for a full theatrical piece, and I made 9 costumes that year. Wow. So I was just like, a little bit too much.
But how was your social life? Like real talk, how was your social
We're
life?
getting into
that
the
year?
real nitty-gritty.
Because the truth is you have to sacrifice a lot of your social
true.
time. Because most of us have jobs too, so it's like you're doing jobs, doing cosplay in the evening, and then on weekends you have to sacrifice a lot. I know I've had to sacrifice a lot of my social life when I was like pumping out like big costumes, like one after the other. How was your social life?
I don't remember. It's all a bit of a
That explain it for you.
It's all a bit of a
That
blur
answers
now.
It's all a blur. My friends were great. Did I have friends?
No, but one thing I like to do is organize cosplay parties. So it's like crafting parties. So you invite all your friends at the one with the biggest apartment, and you're like, okay, let's hang out and work on cosplay. That works.
That sounds
I like
fun.
that. Yeah, that is fun.
So now you're making Yuna's belt, right?
Yeah, I'm working on her obi still. So what I am doing now is, so I went to Bead Planet, I think it's called, or Trimcycle, one of the ones on Saint Hubert Street.
I
And
know which one you're talking about. The one with the walls just like covered in beads and buttons.
And I bought these 2 different sized beads for when I was working on Breath of the Wild Zelda, and I have a whole bunch of them left. So I decided that I would spray paint them the colors that I need to do the highlights and the detailing on the belt. So I spray painted blue ones for the centerpiece and purple ones for the vines. And now I'm just gem tacking them down and hoping that gem tack holds. I kind of wanted to go with E6000.
And I was gonna say,
But I didn't want to fumigate. I didn't want to fumigate everyone here. So I'm like, well, let's just try this and see
You
how
should
it
have
holds.
fumigated us. We're totally fine with it.
I'll get.
I mean, actually, there's another
High on
show
the stream.
after us,
Maybe not.
so maybe not.
There's only so much we want to subject people
Maybe
to.
not.
But I'm struggling with my freaking gem tack because I didn't clean the nozzle out last time I used it, and it's got gunk in it.
So
What
was
is
the
that?
struggle with glue.
Gem tack. It's for putting
Does it
down.
hold well?
Mr. Badmex says,
does well.
"What's a social life?" #cosplay problem. actually, that's where your idea of like getting your friends over and actually crafting together
That's
makes
my
you guys at
social
least
life.
have some human interaction where you're not just like running Netflix for 8 hours a day
Yeah.
and just crafting by your lonesome and crying over things that you can fix as a group, but alone just seem overwhelming and stressful, and you end up burritoing yourself so your friends find you in despair. Yeah, no, can relate.
No, well, right now it's because I'm working full time and I'm working on a lot of commissions. So realistically, I can't pump out a big costume for this summer, so I will not. Because when I'm finished my commissions, I will be just doing my little Pokemon, and then I'm gonna be doing my JoJo and done.
So this character is the Pokemon character.
Yes, it's Rosa from Pokemon Black, White 2. So she has like, she has like these big buns on
You
her
have
head.
them with you, right? But the wefts aren't on.
No, exactly. I have the buns, but the wefts are not on it yet because I want to finish the knobs first, just to make sure.
Sorry.
Can I see?
Yeah,
Can I?
maybe like
13-year-old.
They're like foam.
yes.
I could totally wear this. Like,
on the side,
perfectly fine.
It's a
Like
fun
these?
bun.
perfectly good.
like this.
Very kawaii.
She's really cute. I chose her because I figured at least her wig was a little bit of a challenge, but everything else is just won't be so easy. And I'm making Nate from Pokemon Black White for my husband. So we're going, man.
Again, making it.
Actually, we're making a pretty big group for this one, so I'm excited.
Which I am participating in. I am excited.
Should be fun.
I'm gonna see you guys together wearing it at Otaku-thon
On Sunday.
Yeah. So
Trying to get all the trainers, like the starter trainers. Got a few so far, but we're still missing.
I feel like that's a lot of
3.
people, though. That's a big.
So far, it's a
thing.
pretty big group because I also I'm the one who was like organized it. I asked everyone if they wanted to do it, and I opened it up to like trainers, like random trainers. So if you wanted to be like bug catcher or trainer Joey with the one like
the ones you run into when you're walking
or
through.
something, that was fine. Yeah, professors, so Professor Oak or Kukui. If you wanted to be a villain, so Team Rocket or specific or like. Yeah, Team Rocket or whatever other villains there are. And it was also open to like leaders or like, what are they called? The gym leaders and stuff like that, yeah.
That's a lot of characters.
Yeah, well, it's just as fun. And the thing about Pokemon is if you're going to organize a big group, Pokemon's a good one because you get challenging designs if you want them, and you get simple designs if you want them.
Comfortable.
Yes, and we're doing it Sunday, Comfy Sunday.
Comfy Sunday.
Comfy Sunday.
For me, it's hungover Sunday.
I think it's the case for a lot of
For
people.
most people. Because the con is finally when you finish working on all your stuff and you get to like chill, relax, see your friends.
Yeah.
So like, come on. So speaking of our friends, we have a question from Marco, AKA Thermo Pro. So he asked, what got you guys into cosplay?
Well, for me personally, I've always had like an extreme fascination with costumes, whether it was like video games when I was young or watching like the costume heavy movies. Lord of the Rings when it came out when I was like 11 years old, I was just like this is my life now. This is my life now, and it has become my life somehow. So yeah, I've always been super into costumes and costuming. I remember when I was really young, like 6 years old, and my brother and his friends would come over and we would play Legend of Zelda, but I would make us tunics. Like I was the shop salesman and I made us tunics. That was my role in like the pretend game of Fantasyland that we had, this Legend of Zelda game. I was the tunic maker. So
you guys were basically LARPing.
Well, yeah, no.
Little kids version of LARPing?
Yeah, little kids
cute.
LARPing.
Minus the fighting. No fighting.
So I've always been super into costumes, and like I've really liked Star Wars and Star Trek, and of course like fantasy and stuff. So because I come from the countryside, and when I started expanding into the city and realized that there was a Montreal Comic-Con. Comic-Con's coming to Montreal. Like I came to my first Montreal Comic-Con and it just kind of opened up the world of costuming and cosplay to me. So,
Was there a lot of cosplayers when you were there?
No.
Right? I
no,
feel
there was
like-
not. There was a couple like Star Wars cosplayers, but they were with like the 501st and the Rebel Legion. And then I particularly remember this group of Sucker Punch girls who were stellar. Like they were so cool. They had little gears on their shoes and guns on their shoes. And I took pictures of specifically their shoes with their permission because I was fascinated by them.
I need a photo of your feet.
Yeah, that was me. That was me. But
now you know who it was.
But aside from that, like I don't really remember there being that many cosplayers there. This is when it was back at Bonaventure.
Yeah. So this was like, if you had
was
to
at
give it a year.
Bonaventure?
Like
Yeah.
Man, I got into
2008,
this
2009.
Back in the Stone Age.
Yeah,
Don't
I
even
remember
know
those
about it.
days. I was in a comic book club and they would give us like free tickets to go to Montreal Comic Con and Otaku-thon. And I remember the price of the tickets being like $5. And they were printed on like a little paper sheet. And when we would get there, we'd be like, let me in. And they'd be like, okay, tear. That's it.
I remember Otaku-thon being really cheap, but Comic-Con, well, I've never been into Comic-Con either, but yeah, I'm not that OG. I got into it really late.
Is there a paper towel here?
Oh, paper towel. No, you must deal with this. Do you guys have paper towels? I have some napkins in my bag. We good?
I just got glue all over my hands.
Liz will assist you. Do not worry. She's like, wait, I cannot do this.
Ninja crew.
In the meantime, Emily, how did you get into cosplay? What made you start?
Actually, I did not know cons were a thing. Yeah, so, because like I said, I just didn't have a lot of I was into anime. I really liked Sakura Card Captor younger. Eventually, I got back into it a lot later because I remember my cousins bullying me mocking me for liking
That's horrible.
anime. Yeah, they were not
For
very
liking anime?
Yeah.
Can we get
So
some
I-
F's in chat, please, for that?
So I kind of like repressed my like for it for several years.
my God,
Eventually
honey,
got
I'm
older
so
and
sorry.
stopped caring, and got back into it. But I just didn't know much about the con scene. I didn't know much about like I guess I didn't know anyone who was into it. And I remember I came across, it's gonna be super cliche, but I came across a picture of Yaya Han online and just thought her costume was so gorgeous. And I always liked dressing up. Like Halloween has always been my favorite. And I was like, people do this, I wanna do this too. And I want it to be just as good. Several years later, maybe one day, it'll be
very
just
cute.
as good.
And, oh man, I wish I could have seen some photos of Card Captor.
I
love
love janky.
Sakura.
And plus it was like a not official costume, like it was an official art, but it wasn't in the show, so nobody knew who I was.
Oh, okay, so people were like,
Who are you? Everybody was recognizing my friend.
was
I
your
made her a
hair
little-
like at least?
Yeah.
Like
my
hers?
friend was wearing Kirobero, like a little hoodie.
Like the
Because I
onesies?
made her one. No, it was just a hoodie because I made her one.
okay.
And everybody was recognizing her, and all the Sakura card captors are coming up to her to be like, take a picture of it, just pushing me aside. They're just like, she's my Kirobero.
Aww.
But no one knew who I was, so I should have went for a costume that she was wearing in the show.
Well, no. If it was the one that you wanted.
Oh, it's so cute. She was
if it
wearing
was the
little
one you
devil
wanted, it was the
wings
one that
and
was
stuff.
meant to be.
Yeah, I should redo it. Just like, if I had a picture, I should redo it and show like just how good
redo.
I need to find a picture so I can show the before and after.
How do you guys feel about redoing costumes that you've already done?
I have done that so many times.
Really? I
Yes.
don't like it.
No?
I actually don't like it. No. I'm like, I'm done. I want to move on, do something else. New character.
New adventures.
Oh, someone says Emi. You could read it. It says
Mickey Mimi.
oh, it's Sneaky Mimi. I was like, girl, how do I even start to say that? I'm like,
That's so funny.
I'm sure you were so
Sneaky Mimi
cute.
would.
Oh, thank you.
oh my god, I was like, this girl trying to make me stutter.
Yeah, no, I probably wasn't even wearing makeup. Like, just a complete new.
It's so funny, like as you cosplay more and more, and that's the one reason why I do like redoing costumes is because you just like perfect what you already made. You'll either like change things up and be like, you know what?
But the thing is, I'm such a perfectionist. Like making one costume, especially something bigger, takes me so long, and I
okay.
put so much time and energy into it. And I'm like, I don't want to put this time and energy back into it again.
Yeah. When you wear it, you're already super confident in it. You're already like, this is my best product.
At this point, kind of. Like, I don't know if it's perfect, but it's good enough that I'm satisfied with it. And now there's like a list this long of other things I want to do.
But you found
That was
it?
me. That's not the Sakura Card Captor one.
That's your
that
link?
was my first link. That was my second costume.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you can show it.
Okay, we're gonna show it.
Also, my first gender bend. No, not gender bend. Crossplay.
Like it. Well, I mean, my first like costume was also a gender bend too, because I was like, I just want to do something casual and easy.
What did you do?
I did Sam Winchester from Supernatural.
Oh my god,
I
you're
did not know
adorable.
that.
So I made the demon blade and I just like wore plaid. I basically looked like myself all the time.
There you go.
But I made a demon blade. And my friend was Dean.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Did you start making props like right away? Because
No,
it took
heck
me a
no.
long time before I started actually like making
I mean,
props,
I
or at
always
least
like
decent props.
found easy ways to make props. So
Mm-hmm.
I never I didn't start building like huge things, but my first two weapons were the demon blade and Arya Stark's needle.
Oh,
Okay.
neat.
So I just found a really simple way to make it, and those were like the first actual props I made. And they came out pretty good until Jason Momoa broke my needle sword at a photo op.
Oh no.
Thank you, Jason Momoa. Very cool.
How did he break it?
He, my friend and I took the photo together, and so we went to Jason and we're like, she was Daenerys and I was Arya Stark. And we both went like, okay, we took a photo, whatever. He picked her up. He's like, my wife, and picked her up. We posed for a photo, and then I was like, oh, I kind of felt like the background, but it's cool, you know, we're splitting the photo up because we're youngins. And then at the end of it, I was like, actually, can you take a photo with me? Or can I pretend to kill you? And he was like, kill me? you want to kill me? And I was like, oh no, what have I done? So he like grabbed me by his sword and pushed me like on him like that, and then cracked my sword when he was doing that. And I was like, oh my God, this is great.
This is great.
Snap 3 photos, please. and thus died Needle in my arms.
Well, at least it died.
Happy.
Yeah, that was a good way to die. It's not
Rip
like
Needle.
some random person in the dealer's room, like,
No, like
bada bing, bada boom,
smashing.
and it's dead.
And Lucerol says, oh, these are subscribing. I'm like, what did he say? Because I know him. That's Jesse. Hello, Jesse. Thank you for subscribing.
Because I looked over quick and I'm like,
Gaflugi.
what is this, Latin?
I mean, nobody has normal names. There's no like Tom. Thank you for subscribing. No.
Mine is just my name everywhere, which is at least easy to pronounce.
Oh man, John Farrell, Rip Needle. Yes, can we get that hashtag trending, please? No, but you know what we can get trending? The hashtag Cosplay Cave. So if you guys ever want to share any of your whips with us, we'll show them on stream if you guys want, or send us a little message about what you're working on. We just want to get a conversation starting on Twitter and on Instagram about what's going on in your cosplay life.
That sounds really fun.
I know,
that's
I
really
love
nice.
it. I like it baffles me sometimes just how many cosplayers there are. Like, to me, there's no
There's
like
so many of them.
hierarchy. They're just people who decided to make a costume today. It could be any of us, which is basically what we did.
Which is exactly what's happening right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah!
Oh God, I thought that was hot glue.
No, it was a glue-covered needle stuck to
It was
my
just
hand.
a glue-covered needle. You know, couldn't have gone any worse than
Does it
getting
take
burnt by
long
hot
to
glue.
dry? I'm curious because I always want to know more about new materials.
Well, that's a
so-
pretty thick gob there, but
But let's say like these, are
Let's
they going to
test
take
it.
a long time to dry?
it says leave dry for 24 hours before washing, but
It's pretty tacky.
So are you going to take it home just like, don't fold it, don't fold it?
no, I think he probably got more. It's probably more robust than that.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to be a bit more careful with these guys because they didn't get as much glue on as the other ones, but I'm probably gonna get home and put E6000
on it,
E6000
yeah.
on any of the ones that fall off. So
So it is a really smelly glue, but E6000 is one of those things that just like works in so many ways for so
Works
many types of
so
materials.
well.
And
I like super glue more. Actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Because super glue is instant, so if you really need something to stick right away, I feel
Yeah.
like that's the way to go. But if you need like durability for a long time,
Okay,
feel-
I've used E6000 on pleather and it does not stick. What do you guys use on pleather? I'm actually curious.
contact cement.
Contact cement?
Yeah.
Because I've had it come off even with contact cement.
Oh yeah.
same.
Yeah.
It depends
I've
on
had
the
that
surface,
issue.
I feel like with that.
Yeah.
Well, there's a really neat web service. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like this to that or something.
Do read what you said.
That's a pretty
We're gonna
thick
clip
gob
that.
there.
That's definitely gonna be clipped. Cosplay Corner, we're all about the good quotes.
Wholesome content.
Family-friendly channel.
Yes.
Oh man,
Making
see,
great efforts to keeping it family friendly here.
I didn't ask you if I could touch your material.
You can-
I decided to just
I
go
was
in
just gonna
there.
say you can touch whatever you'd like, but apparently I'm getting called out on the things I say.
It's a party up in here. Oh man. I'm sorry, we just didn't expect this from the lovely Miss Bandit Spurs. The Ecosterian extraordinaire.
Yes, you're a friendly local bandit.
Oh man.
Stop falling over.
So the store that you went to, I actually had made a like a rave type cosplay once, and I like was bejeweling a bunch of stuff. So I was like, where do I go to get like good gems and beads? Yeah, this store. Great on
That's
St.
pretty
Hubert.
good.
If you guys are in Montreal, or like I mean, everybody has like that bead store in their town. I mean, I think.
Yeah, down,
I'm sorry if
down
you don't.
beside the local bodega, there's a bead store.
And they just have like such like odd items that you're like, what? You buy this?
No, they've got
I
some
need
really
this
cool
bejeweled
stuff.
heart, so I guess I'll get it. But this is great.
And seriously, like at Bead Planet, they have just about every bead that you could possibly be looking for any project. Not that I don't know.
The one downtown?
Yeah. Like, I'm super impressed with that place, but.
Well, there's two of them. There's two of them, and they look almost the same, and it's like wall to wall, 2 rooms with that little middle part.
Downtown?
On Saint-Hubert. There's 2 of them.
Oh.
Actually, there's one on the left and one on the right.
I go to the one on the left.
Okay, wait. Oh, so if we're
The one that's like,
I'm like, which side are we standing
Okay,
on?
so you get out of the metro. At Jean Talon.
Yeah, and then you go, and then you turn on Saint-Hubert, right?
Yes. Okay, so you're on Saint-Hubert. And then there's like the one on the left is like the one that's close to the end. It's near 2 fabric stores.
and way before there's one on the right.
Yes, but like actually under the little gazebo thingies,
Oh, that's way down.
right?
No. No, I turned
We're
the
not
other way.
we're not talking about the same place.
No, I don't think so. Anyways, there's tons on Saint-Hubert, guys, so knock yourselves out.
I will.
If you need beads, just go on
And
Saint-Hubert.
Schmooberry says pleather, contact cement, but I sand the pleather a little bit first.
That's smart.
Yeah, that is actually really smart.
That's the thing, like with depending on what kind of surface that you're using, it won't always stick. And like it says 15 minutes and then 24 hours to actually have it fully
Because what I
stuck.
started doing, because it would never stick, I would sew a piece of fabric where I would want to glue whatever thing.
Wow.
And then glue it to that fabric because I thought it had better better contact
Wow.
than with the
Schmooberry's like,
leather.
why didn't you just like sand it and weather it? And then I want to
I was scared it wouldn't hold.
something to try. And that's like another reason why I really thought this show was a great idea, because we get to get people together and like talk about the different tips and tricks that we each have to like actually get stuff done more effectively.
If anybody has tips and tricks on how to, I think they call this stubbing. When you stub a wig, essentially you make like a
Oh yeah, show people what
like
you're.
this. Yeah,
what you
nobody
had.
knows what I'm doing.
it's the other side.
So it's a chibi, so it's a ponytail wig. So essentially I'm gonna be pulling all of this up, but because it's never gonna be, how can I explain this? When I did Star Guardian Luxe, I had a really bad experience. I had a chibi and I pulled up the ponytails and then I decided to style the ponytails. I'm getting them, well. And I decided to style the ponytails, but they're really poofy. So I started like teasing them. And as I teased them, I realized it was pulling the fibers here and it was making it all janky.
Like here looking
yeah,
weird.
It doesn't really show when you see it, but I can see it and it bugs me. And then I realized what a lot of people do is that they stub the wig first. So essentially ils font comme des mognons.
Like a bunion, yeah, like a little.
Like little, but then it's all like essentially attached together. And then they put essentially they put the fibers on a foam and then they just
Boop. So like that wig will stay as
yeah,
is.
it say as is. And if you want to style the ponytail aspect, you can. It won't affect this area.
Yeah, because you're not actually pulling like this part
but I've
out.
never done
I love
this
how I'm
before.
using my hair. Like it's not accurate. No.
Well, it's like if I move. So let's say you have this, and let's say I started like essentially pulling this. It would affect this area.
Yeah, while it's
here.
already tied, it would start like making little
Yeah,
bumps
exactly, and bumps and stuff. And I was just like, no.
And those are the kind of things that you tell your photographer to edit afterwards because you didn't do a good
Actually,
job.
it doesn't show on pictures. It really doesn't show.
It's shown on my.
Yeah.
You have slightly more. You have way more skill than I do. I have those moments where I'm like, God damn it, why did I do that? God, I thought it wasn't gonna show. It totally shows. Yeah, we underestimate the power of a camera sometimes, don't we?
Oh, you can change a lot of things post edit. But I mean, not to the point where you're gonna ask your photographer to edit out like all the seams or all the creases or all the stuff. I'm like, there's a limit, I would say.
Yeah, for sure.
You need to accept that your costume's still gonna look like a costume.
Yeah, you're still an organic being in a 3-dimensional space.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't be perfect. You can't become Star Guardian Luxe, however much you want to be.
I will try.
Cries.
I will try.
But Mom, I want to be. So Ame Aftermath says, when you're starting out cosplaying, is it better to pick a character that's simple and one that is complicated? If it's complicated, one is more favorable. Do you like what is more favorable? Do you like God? Rosemary can't read. I'm also squinting.
Well, I don't know. I think when you're starting cosplaying, you kind of have to judge your own comfort in crafting and sewing, if that's what you want to go with. sort of thing. If you're looking to make your own costume, I think it's best to kind of evaluate where you stand on the skill level and what you're looking to take on right away. Because you can be super ambitious and take on a big costume, and that's great. But if it kind of scares you, don't do it, because you're gonna put yourself in a bad situation and maybe sour the experience. So.
Also, I would say, like, depending on when it's due, like, do you want it to for con that's in 2 months? Then don't take on a big project if it's your first time. It's not gonna happen.
I love how 2 months is not a long time for you guys.
Yeah.
2 months is not a long time for me.
Like 2 months is plenty of time. You work on it a bit, and then you're just like, no, it's not enough.
Not enough.
No, not if it's a big project, especially if it's stuff you haven't worked on before. If it's something you've done, like if it's an armor and you're very comfortable with your armor skills, then yeah. But if it's your first costume and you have a time, like a due date, I would say try to evaluate what you're comfortable doing and maybe do something more simple.
You also have to think about where you're going to source your materials too. So if you got like 2 months, that's 2 months to go out and fabric shop and
you're right. That's
notion shop and find your shoes. I have so much trouble with finding shoes.
Where do you guys get your shoes?
I usually do things over a base shoe. Like I'll either make a slip or something. Like it's impossible almost to find the exact shoe unless you're planning on buying it off of like a costume website or something.
Oh yeah, no, I never find the exact shoe. I almost always get my shoes from Ardennes.
Same.
Yeah.
I've got
have like
that.
And then you cover them up.
Yeah, they have that one like discount like entrepot shop in where is it, near Namur Metro. This is all Montreal references, but do believe that this can be taken internationally as well. I don't know what the American equivalent would be, but cheap shop with shoes. Get like a basic black heel and then just make a slip over it, like a foot cover, and use that as a base instead, as long as the heel height is like the right size.
And you have the approximate shape that you need to. Like if it's a sneaker, you need a sneaker. If it's like a boot, you need a boot. Usually.
Like sometimes if I want to be taller, I'll like get a wedge and like the boot cover will cover it. So like it'll give the illusion of it not being a wedge, but it actually is. So I feel taller and I feel great.
That's a perfect little trick. Yeah, that's awesome.
Wedges.
I can't. I avoid heels because I hate walking with them at cons. I want to die. Just like
I feel like wedges are more comfortable though.
Wedges are not as bad. It's true.
Or like a thick heel.
Yeah, but like a stiletto and stuff, I'm always like, when I see the cosplayers with the tiny little stilettos, I'm always like, oh, you poor soul.
No, tiny stilettos with no, what do you call it, platform? I'm a platform queen. Like my heels could be 5 inches tall. I don't care if there's a platform.
Yeah,
there's no platform. It's like, so if the heel is this high and the platform is about this thick, the heel is technically only that high. Geometry. So it actually, like, it looks really bad to most people, but then you realize, no, she's shredding that stuff. She's good. She's fine. She's got this. Ooh, we have a picture. Someone's working on something. Again, I'm gonna have to squint.
That's like a Spartan helmet. That looks like it's all made
Is that
out
like
of foam.
Pantheon? Is someone doing Pantheon from League of Legends?
So cool.
Is that what it is?
Dr. Fate.
Damn it, so close.
What is that? Do you guys know what that is?
Oh, thanks for typing that out and being
Final stage of
letters.
sanding begins.
That looks awesome.
Yeah, it does. It looks really good.
Sanding is like one of those things that I've always underestimated. And I thought that when
Sanding
we were talking about this.
Is the worst. I hate it. So bless your soul.
Yeah,
I hope
sending you
you're
some energy.
entertaining enough to get you through this, because sanding is the worst. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I don't want to use Warbler anymore because I don't want to prime it. I don't want to sand. I hate sanding. So
Mr. Badmac Mark. So all of us sending our energy and love to you while the sanding experience is going on.
Does anybody actually like sanding? Because I don't believe them. They are lying.
I don't mind sanding actually.
Really?
Yeah.
You like it?
I have I have a good space to work on stuff that needs sanding or like.
Oh yeah,
like
I don't.
I have a decent workshop, so it's not a problem for me. Which is very
when
lucky
you
for
sand
me.
in your house.
Yeah, not good.
No, it's not.
And in the winter, you know, in Montreal, you can't really go out
can't.
on the balcony.
No, you
to
can't,
sand.
so nothing to do. But I found an alternative that almost requires no sanding, and it is expensive, but I don't care because no sanding involved.
No sanding?
What
Counts
is?
me in.
Well, instead of using gesso or wood glue, I use this really expensive product called XTC 3D.
You told me about that.
Yes.
I wrote it down.
Oh my god, I love it. It's my favorite thing.
That sounds really cool.
But you were
It's
saying you
from,
use it on your 3D prints as well, right?
Yeah, well, they were meant for 3D prints. Essentially, it's a resin that it's supposed to be applied to 3D prints, and it smooths out the 3D print. 2 layers, and it is so smooth. 2 coats.
No, it's okay.
2 coats, and it is smooth.
There, it'll be fine.
But do you have to
But
sand
so
it at all?
You can, but like it'll take you like a fraction of the time if you were using like gesso and wood glue. And I only swear by that because it gives the most like just the best results. I used it for my for my wands for my Little Witch Academia, and when I was done, and I have an airbrush, so after airbrushing it looked so nice. I was like, it looks like it's bought. It looks so smooth.
Like, I think you had
so
used
well.
it on Lux too, right? On the star piece?
I wish. No, I did not actually use it on Lux because I found out about it like after I had already started Lux. If I had anything I would remake, it's probably Lux's wand actually.
She wants to remake a cosplay now.
No, I don't.
full
I
thing.
won't.
She's committed.
No, but if I could, that's the one
Almost
I would.
convinced her.
You heard it first on Beanduck TV.
No,
She's
because the thing
recommitted.
is, Lux, as much as she's quite popular at cons because League of Legends, I don't actually play League of Legends. I just thought the design was really cute.
Yeah.
So when I wear her, it's like it took me 2 years to finish her. I got really tired of her. By the time I finished it, the seam, like the sewing work I had done at the beginning, was not up to par to my skills at that point, and I was.
So you just ended up redoing it with all your newfound
Yeah, I was
glorious
like, oh, I
skills.
could have done that so much better now. So it looks good, but I'm just when I wear it, I don't.
Your heart's not in it.
No, but when I wear Susie, oh my god, I want to die when I'm wearing Susie because I can't walk. It's like, and I have full like makeup and I'm super hot. Because
It's like linen too, isn't it? Or
it's
is it
boiled wool.
boiled wool?
It's so hot, and I have to like squeeze into it because it's super tight. But I love it. I just love the character so much. So when I wear it, I'm just like, oh. And the pictures came out so good, and I was just so happy. And
Can we talk a little bit about like our favorite sewing material, like actual like the fabric itself?
Actual sewing material.
Because and I always say it wrong. Peau de soie.
Peau de soie.
Peau de soie.
Yeah,
I love
saying
it
it
so much. It's my favorite. It's like
Peau
the
de
best.
soie?
It's so lovely. It's like
it
a
is-
silk,
Yeah.
but it's heavy.
Oh, it's so
So it
well.
won't like, what do you call it? You know, like sometimes when you sew like satins and things, it'll like,
It does not dance.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense. It does not wiggle and dance, and no, it's nice and
so-
yeah.
It does still fray. It does still fray, and it pulls like a bugger.
fray is the word I was looking for.
But it's like such a nice body to it if you're making, because I use it for a couple of my Zelda dresses that I've made. I used it in my Silmeria for Valkyrie profile because it's a heavy silk, and I love it so much. But yeah, it made me think of it boiled wool.
Boiled wool is real wool essentially, and it's just boiled, so it has this weird texture where it looks like all lumpy and stuff, and it looks a little old. So you're like, oh, this is gonna look so nice for uniforms. Because I was doing it with other girls, like the Little Witch Academia. But it's really warm because it's wool, and we're wearing them at on, and I wanted.
But it looks legit. We have some resounding chatters being like, yes, you guys are right, peau de soie.
Yes. I actually really like cotton sateen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I really like it. Actually, I like almost all cottons, like just a nice plain weave or twill. I love a twill. It's nice and rigid. You're sewing, it's like.
That's the thing when you sew with like thinner fabrics. Like I've tended to like, I don't really know much about fabrics. So when I would go shopping, like my logic was get the pretty one or the cheap one or the one that is the exact color that you need. But there's so much more to it than just that. Like, because then as soon as you go behind a sewing machine, it'll just like either break apart or you start noticing that the edges are like cutting off.
Or it doesn't hang the right way. Like
doesn't
it's the right
fall
color and it's the
properly.
right sheen, but it doesn't.
Well, a good trick if you have a serger is as soon as you cut your pattern pieces, you can serge all the sides if you're having a lot of trouble with fraying. Because essentially,
Serge meaning like I usually just use lighter and I'm just like, but I'm constantly doing that.
but it's like you have a regular sewing machine, then you have a serger, like an overlock machine.
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Overlock
People
machine.
used to do like hems and stuff.
Well, essentially,
Yeah,
I'm trying to see if I have an example of it here, but
everyone's looking on there.
yeah. Well, like this, you don't see it very well, but
Because it shows on one side and not on the other.
well, it's more like the way it sews. It's either no. This one's like
of us
essentially
have
if you're gonna
examples.
sew something and you're not putting a lining so that your sides don't fray, you serge it. Or you use the zigzag stitch on your machine essentially. So that prevents it from fraying. Yep. If you don't have an overlock, you can use the zigzag stitch. But
I mean, my aunt is a seamstress, so she has like 4 machines. She just tells me what to do, and I do it. But that's what you guys are here for too. You're the masters with the plan. You're just like, yeah, you should be doing this.
Serger. Also, that's what you'll use if you want to sew 2 pieces. Like if you're doing a bodysuit, like a spandex bodysuit, you're going to use a serger because it allows stretch.
Because if not, it'll just.
Well, if you were to do a straight seam on something that needs stretch, it'll break.
Yeah. The more you know, guys.
A zig stitch on like a conventional sewing machine can get you as far as it can get you, but a serger or an overlock machine is really cool. But they're also like, they're a big money investment, so.
They're worth it. If you're going to do it for a lot, like continuously, like first you get the sewing machine, and eventually if you like it and you're having fun and you're gonna keep doing cosplay or sewing, you need a serger. Like it's almost essential.
Yeah.
At some point.
I feel like you're someone who does commissions. It would be more worth it. So you see the logic in like doing.
Oh yeah, but even before I got a serger, it's just so handy.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do a lot, it's really worth it. And eventually, that's something I want to eventually like invest in, and it's a heavy-duty sewing machine. So when you get like the thick jeans or like the materials are really thick and your machine's just not collaborating, you take out the heavy-duty machine. So they're specifically made for like jeans or really, really thick fabrics and stuff like that.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, my friend has one. I was like, what is that? She's like, it's a heavy-duty sewing machine. I was like, that's amazing.
This is a thing? Okay.
Well, I mean, I know they existed, but I didn't know they had like domestic ones, I guess. I thought they were always
Only
like
industrial
ones, yeah.
Yeah.
I have one that's called a baby lock. So it's it's a baby overlock. It's very nice.
It's the best.
Yeah. So
Probably cheaper.
it was like
No, not
it was like
necessarily.
$400 still.
No, it's
but
expensive.
Oh.
Yeah.
Essentially what it does is it does like this, let's say you're doing voile and you want to finish your ends, your hem. You use the baby lock, it does this tiny little, it almost looks like it embroiders your hem almost.
Okay.
If you make it like, if you make your stitch really small, and yeah, that's how I ended up finishing like, except it wasn't with the baby lock, it was just, I tried to turn my serger into a baby lock essentially. It was make the trim as small as possible, and then you finish your whole hem like that so it doesn't fray. But you don't have to roll it in. And since Susie has like, the bottom of it is like this, like it's essentially like.
So the bottom of it is like what?
it's like a face.
It's like a,
It's like a lettuce. It's like a lettuce
It
hem.
looks like a
but-
lettuce, yeah. It's like because the dress essentially is like fitting, and then it keeps going. Think of Morticia Adams, for instance.
Yes.
So it keeps going, right? So and then the ends are kind of all dingy and broken and like they've been ripped, but you still have to finish your hem if you don't want it to fray. So you use the baby lock. Amazing.
I'm just gonna set this.
But now,
aside,
like if
let
you
it
have an actual
sit
baby
and do
lock
its
machine,
thing.
so jelly.
and we have a question from Fire PHX. You are on fire, my dude. How many months prior did you start your first cosplay project for your first ever convention?
That is going back a ways. That is a question delving into the annals of my mind.
Way back in time.
But I'd say it was probably like 2 months. Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
And you said that's a little like tight on time.
Well, it was the only thing I was working on, and you know, it was.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was getting into, so.
And what was your first costume again?
It was Slave Leia.
Oh.
I did not know what I was getting myself into when I made.
Pics, please.
when I made Slave Leia as my very first costume to wear to a convention.
It looks simple.
The costume was simple. It was actually wearing it to the convention that I was just like, yeah, this is gonna be fine. And then I'm standing in the bathroom after changing into it in like the bathrooms of the Montreal convention at
Place Bonaventure?
no, because at that point they had moved to Place
Palais de Congrès.
Palais de Congrès. And yeah, I'm standing in the bathroom and I'm looking at myself in the mirror and I'm like, am I about to do this?
Did you do it?
I did it.
Oh, good job.
I did it.
Read the screen. I'm sorry, this is a family friendly stream. I'm not repeating this.
Not fair. The annals of my mind. Just re-quoting me and all the silly things I say.
Oh man. It's just her. She has just such good diction and vocabulary. She can't hold it back anymore, guys.
Gets me in trouble.
Proper diction gets you in trouble, guys. You heard it here. The more you know.
So I think it probably took me about 2 months to do that one, and I made the costume with like, because it's a plate on the front.
Right in the front with the little hookies.
Yeah, it's got a nice tabard on the front, which I extended and made wider for my own comfort. But yeah, I made the plate on the front and the plate on the back out of Rice Krispie square boxes. Yeah,
Cosplay on a budget.
not Rice Krispie, whatever, the cereal box.
Like the cereal.
Yeah, the cereal box and cord as the detailing. And I painted tinfoil to have like the metal sheen to it, sort of thing.
God.
So yeah, I thought I was pretty clever at the time, not knowing what I was doing.
You gotta start somewhere.
Hi, Julie.
Julie says hello.
Oh, hello, Julie.
Hi, Julie. Oh man, that sounds good though. Like, did it like one thing that I was always scared about, like wearing like slightly more revealing costumes, was if anything broke, you're done.
I had
Get out
pasties.
there.
I had pasties on.
Yeah, that's a. Yep.
I had my fiance, my now fiance, who was just my boyfriend at the time, with me just to like help coordinate me, because I was just like, why did I decide to do this? Why have I done this? Why have I done this? Poor Jesse.
Oh man. As long as he like directed you well, and if you were posing for anything and it was like, oh,
Well, because the thing was, like, I didn't even expect to have people take photos of me, because like it was the first time it was the second time I had ever been to a convention, and the first time I had ever worn a costume to a convention.
Okay.
So I hadn't even prepared myself mentally to stand there and have my photo taken. I was just like,
Oh yeah, my first convention when I people were asking for pictures, I had no idea what to do in front of the camera.
when you were Sakura.
Yep, when I was Sakura. Well, I was telling you, people were pushing me out of the picture to get the
really?
Kettle. Well, it's because the others, not all of them, but there was a lot of people dressed as Sakura who saw the Kettle and just asked me to move so they could take a picture with my friend who was Kettle.
And you're like, oh my
I was
god.
like, okay.
But what about me, further alone?
But I remember that piece was made mostly from recycled stuff from a thrift store.
Okay.
And the wings were made with like, I ended up finding this weird like plastic that I could sew through.
like a cellophane?
No, I don't know. It was like, I don't know where this
like
came
a
from.
rubber?
No, like just like a sheet of plastic, and you could sew through it because it wasn't so thick, and I covered it with black fabric to make the little devil wings, and it took me a whole summer of like as a student, so working like 15 to 20 hours a week.
Okay.
Yeah, not
I was
the
gonna
40
be like-
hours that I do now, and it took me a whole summer. Like I started probably in June, and then finished like for August. Now that would not be enough time because I work 40 hours a week, and even though my skill level is better, I also do more complicated costumes in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kara's costume says, this is super cool. Montreal cosplay scene is awesome.
It really is.
It's like there's actually quite a big scene. Like you go to Toronto and like yes, there's quite a few cosplayers, but Montreal has a lot of like, it's like such a condensed place, and the language too. Like even if you go to Quebec, like Quebec City conventions are really cosplay heavy. Like I remember being there this year, and the attendance was like wasn't that many people, but about like 90% of the people were in costume.
That's
it was
awesome.
nuts.
It's
it was
true,
crazy.
I find no offense to like Anime North, but I always find okay, here's the thing. I like Anime North.
OG Con life.
When I went once, and when I went, I had a blast. I was with like the boy, I don't know if you guys know him. He did the big StarCraft one. He had the Hydra from.
Oh yeah, TK Tran.
No, TK, yeah, TK.
Okay.
I was with him and one of his friends and my friend Audrey. We're all together in a room and we had so much fun. Like we're just like shooting the shits and like having fun. And like I remember it being a blast, but I also remember it being like the worst con because it was like
no,
why am I outside? It's windy, it's hot, and where do I go? All the hotel rooms are so far, and my shoes hurt.
No, it's not
like, what is this? And the Masquerade, it was good, but I was like, when I saw it, I was like, I still think the Otakuthon one is better, honestly.
Well, the Otakuthon Masquerade is where they choose the WCS finalists.
I love seeing those.
People to represent
Costumes are
Canada.
always so nice.
Yeah, you bring your A game to Otakuthon.
Kind of. The Masquerade doesn't choose the WCS participants. There's a separate competition for that entirely.
It's not the same one?
No, they have two separate competitions. The WCS competition typically happens on Sunday.
Okay, but the Masquerade.
The Masquerade is Saturday. The Masquerade is enormous on its own, so they wouldn't be able to do both. And they have an entire show that's dedicated just to WCS, and it's an awesome show. And we're super lucky here in Montreal and Quebec to be able to host it because, it really
it's a big deal.
It's a big deal, so it's pretty cool.
And if you want to participate, if I'm not mistaken, please correct me if I'm wrong. You have to apply way ahead of time. It has to be 2 people, no more, and I believe no less. You both have to be Canadian. I'm saying this because my husband's American, so we couldn't participate together. But you both have to be Canadian, and it's ahead of time, and there's a jury that selects the people ahead of time, essentially.
Just to participate.
Just to participate.
And do they get them from the pool of people from the Saturday Masquerade?
No,
it's like
no,
you
no,
actually
it's
need
way
to enter
ahead.
separately.
Yeah, you have to apply like months ahead. You have
you have to have a skit, you have to have props on stage.
Yeah, there's like a lot of rules to it. That I know. But I never realized it was like 2 different things.
My friend Megan and I participated a couple years ago. We participated in the preliminaries. And then last year, I was lucky enough to be able to assist backstage with one of the teams that was participating, Annie Chi Designs and Symphony and Silk. They participated, and I got to be their backstage helper, and that was awesome. So
like little floaty.
Little like move this, help me put my makeup on.
You're like, yes, I'll do it.
Does this look like it's in the right place?
I feel like I can't use the proper term for this, so I won't, but...
Catnip says Anime North equals Sunburn Con.
Yes, totally.
And you don't picture it throughout the day, but like you're in the parking lot, feel the heat, and you're just like, oh my God. Once I take off my makeup, I'll be totally red. And then you realize like, yep, the day after you're like, that kind of hurts the top of my head. That kind of burns.
Another Marco story that I have from Anime North, this pertains because it's one of my favorite stories, and Marco tells it all the time also, is our very first photo shoot we did together. I was in my classic Tifa. So like,
I remember that.
Crop top, low, it's a mini skirt made out of leather because that makes sense for a fighting monk.
Sexy.
And I had the day before, that's what it was, the day before I had been in Armored Zelda, which was also like, boobyish.
Did you have a sunburn?
I had such massive sunburns. Massive sunburns.
That happened to me.
So
too.
Damn.
the first photo shoot that Marco, like the first 2 photo shoots Marco and I do together, he ends up having to spend like 3 hours just trying to edit the sunburn out of my cleavage. And I'm like, that solidified our friendship right there.
Oh man.
That happened to me too, but it wasn't at a
terrible.
con.
It's terrible.
Never again.
I worked with, I don't know if you guys know Ziyang Production. He does a lot of videos at cons. We worked on a video that's not out yet, but I was in my Talim and we went somewhere in Montreal and we stayed out for a long time. And I remember Jimmy telling me, my husband telling me, don't forget to put on sunscreen. Like,
Why do we need sunscreen?
Oh my god, I got a huge sunburn on one boob because because the sun was coming this way and we were fighting like this. So on just one boob, and I can tell you,
Oh, man.
I still have a stain from it till this day.
God.
So she got scarred, guys.
Essentially, like it
Beware.
burned so hard that I kind of have a scar there now, and it's just like, yep, permanently.
Good
sunburned
memories,
boob.
though.
Safety third, guys.
Wear your sunscreen. Don't be stubborn like I am.
Man.
Stay cosplay safe.
I think the funniest like sunburn story I had was the when I had done Italy and body painted, and one of my friends had done NAR actually and had the same issue because the body paint on the side and the legs, and then you go like remove your body paint at the end of the day, and
Does
you
it
realize-
actually protect? So
No,
like, no.
It protects, but the rest of your body tanned, right?
Exactly. So it's
it
with the
shows. So you're like, oh well, I guess I'm just gonna have these two lines up in here. Okay, my face,
right.
like, okay, I guess I look like a cat now. Like, I'm cool with that. Let's go.
The struggles of cosplay.
Ooh, a huge thanks to Eric Gwen for the sub bomb. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Cool.
It's funny because like I'm so used to streaming by myself and having like all these notifications and everything going on at the same time. Now we have the lovely Liz and Julian here to like just like seeding all that information to us, and it's just like
Oh, it's fun, huh?
I like all that spastic like energy is gone. I just get to focus on our lovely guests. It's great.
So this is actually like really special to me getting to be on this stream because I have wanted to stream for so long since Twitch became a thing and like streaming on YouTube and on PlayStation and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, I want to do this so bad. But living out in the boondocks, the internet situation
Let's talk about
leaves
that,
much
shall
to be
we?
desired.
It's okay. I live on the island and I have the same problem. I swear.
God. So yeah, this is really cool.
I'm glad because you have a really good personality for it. Like it would be so much fun to have like a Bandit Spurs stream on the regular.
That's super
but
sweet of you.
we all don't want to pay like $150 a month for internet.
Well, you see, we pay $160 and we still don't have enough internet to do streaming.
Oh yeah, that's insane.
Screeches.
God.
Screeches.
They just don't provide. They just don't.
You gotta haggle that shit. Guys.
But the issue is that like a lot of the times for people who are on the chat who stream or even play video games online, the download speeds are one thing, but in order to get the upload speed that you need to stream, they'll charge you an arm and a leg for it. So that's the issue.
Terrible.
So you'll get like pretty good internet because your download speed will be okay, but your upload,
then all
they'll
of a
cheap
sudden-
you out on that. So if you're streaming something and trying to put something online, it won't work that well.
I don't know if I have that issue. I would have to ask Jimmy. He's streamed.
Jimmy's
a few
very
times.
good with that. He's like more into like computer stuff, I think.
Yeah, he essentially haggled because he will watch video at the same time as he's playing Final Fantasy, at the same time as he's doing a phone call online. Like he does like 500 things at the same time, all on the computer. So he was like, I need this internet, this good, this, that. And then essentially we call and we're like, we need this. And they were like, oh, we can offer this. And I was like, no, we need this.
Yeah.
And then we need it for that price. They were like, oh, we can't have it for that price. Like, well, then we're gonna go somewhere else.
You better.
We actually got it for that price. But I don't know about like upload speed.
Yeah,
but I know
like how
he's
much you have.
streamed a few times and it seemed
It must be
okay,
enough then.
but-
Like it must be just okay.
yeah, well, he's the expert.
Puka Jitsu says, I pay $184 a month for net because of how much upload we use. Wow. Right? Right?
Wow.
My mom doesn't believe me.
That's intense.
It is like that's how they get you.
Yeah. You see, the other issue is like we live at the bottom of a hill, sort of thing, like a small.
You're really
it's,
in the.
It's a hill. It's a big hill, and so we have like the internet tower is on the top of the hill. So we're in the little patch that has like the poor service. Like we're at the foot of this tower, but it doesn't touch us because it kind of fans over. So we're just like, well, there you go. It's real pretty here.
But at least you get
It's real pretty.
It's real pretty, but
also you get tons of space for cosplay.
yes.
Because in my teeny weeny little apartment in Montreal, let me tell you, I had to rent out a locker and all my costumes are essentially like in my locker downstairs. All really well put away in boxes, well labeled, but there's
to
no
do that.
Like my apartment is tiny.
Those apartments have like those storage units downstairs. I know like some of my cosplay friends will do that and they'll put their costumes in those little like
Yeah, and like a storage unit, like a
Yeah.
locker downstairs. That's what I had to do. And then I keep all my, essentially,
Cosplay
my materials
problems,
and
yeah.
stuff, like my tools, my fabrics that I keep upstairs in my apartment, so that they're always at a hand's reach while I'm working.
So if you want to like work on something quick, you'll at least
Yeah.
have that near you. But your other cosplays that are done, you'll keep.
Well, I wear them like once a year, maybe. So it's like I don't need them to be in my apartment at all.
So
That's true.
since your space is really at a premium and you have to store everything, like what is your favorite way of storing stuff?
Boxes.
Like totes or like cardboard boxes?
Or like
Plastic-
Tupperwares, like those.
like big plastic boxes that you get at Dollarama. Like I just buy them, I label it like Star Guardian Luxe, and then I'll put everything that can fit in it in there. The wig, because it's a bit more highly styled, I'll keep upstairs.
Is it like on a head?
On
That's
the
what
head
these
of my
things are
wardrobe.
good for.
Yep. On a head in my wardrobe. But everything else is downstairs in boxes put away. If it's like I have one, it's a suit. Suit you don't want to fold because you're not supposed to fold a suit because you
get
can't really iron it afterwards.
creases in
So
bad
that one will
places.
stay on like on a hanger with a little sheet over it, and it's hanging in my locker.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have 20 minutes left, guys. It
That went by
flew
really
by.
fast.
It went by really
Like
fast.
super
flew
fast.
by. So I'm gonna ask the stream if you guys have any final questions for our guests, shoot them in the chat or Twitter #CosplayCave and send them forth to us so that we can ask our lovely guests before we end our stream, sadly. And do stay tuned because we do have some more streams for you later on with a different show at 9 p.m. It's called Depth of Field with Eric Cohen. So do stay tuned for that. We're gonna have a special guest here tonight with him. Am I allowed to say it? I can? I'm getting the enthusiastic like. So Sean Beichu. Did I say that correctly? Yes? Yay! I'm learning to speak. Hooray! He's a video game actor and a fight choreographer.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
So can he teach me to fight? When is he getting here? Because I got this head beside me. Sure. I'm ready to go. Oh yeah, tell me some things that he's been on. I know. Oh, it's him. Oh, I know it is. Okay, we're just gonna contain the fangirl. All right, so he's Wrench from Watch Dogs and the main from Outlast. So I played a lot of Outlast, so.
Is Outlast that game with zombies? To narrow it down.
And no, it's just like, I mean, they're not zombies, they're like creatures.
Okay.
They're like possessed people.
I have no idea.
Are they like monsters?
I don't know.
You're in an asylum and they're like,
Yeah, that's not the game I was thinking of, but that sounds
I
awesome.
think you're thinking of Resident Evil.
No,
Oh.
Before Dawn or something like that. Nah, I don't know.
Dawn.
Scary.
No. It's gone. Until Dawn.
There we are.
Boom. That's why we have to.
There we are.
Stream.
Oh, that sounds
Okay,
really cool.
Cyberfox asks, Cosplay Cave, what was the worst cosplay malfunction you ever had? Ooh, that's a good question.
Luckily, it wasn't with Slave Leia.
That's what I was thinking. Someone actually had commented that when you said like I was wearing like nip covers underneath,
Yeah.
someone was like, smart girl. Smart girl. Oh man.
No, I remember my worst cosplay malfunction. It was Callum. So I decided to essentially. No, it's not. It's not the tonfas. It's the sandals because I wanted the sandals to look exactly like hers. So I ended up like essentially just taking the flat and then adding straps, but I didn't know how to glue the straps enough, like hard enough that they would essentially stick and not come off. They came off.
Yeah, they
came off. I think I had to go to the cosplay repair shop, and they would just
Always.
duct tape all the way, like just duct tape all around, and then
Just make it stay.
And then I tried, and I was like, this isn't working. I had to go home and essentially take them off because they were just not holding. I fixed them. It's okay. I used nails.
You use nails. Okay, we
I
figured
used
it out.
nails, which I then cut with my Dremel with a special like Dremel bit to like
Mommy.
cut metal.
This is
It
getting
worked.
really
I was
intense.
just like, what? It sounds like that could get so much more painful.
No, because essentially the nail was a flat nail, so it was going like this towards the bottom, but so it wasn't sticking out under. I had to cut it.
Oh my God.
It worked.
As long as you didn't get injured in the
No, I
process?
called my friend over to cut the nails for me.
Okay.
Because I was
There we go.
scared.
And then we have a question from Valfreya Cosplay, who we know is Julie. So Julie asks, what's the dream cosplay that you've never done?
Can I say this?
Can you say it?
Okay, there's two. I've never done anything from Yu-Gi-Oh, and it's literally my favorite fandom. So I want to do the Dark Magician, and I want to do the Change of Heart, which is the one with the demon wing on one side and the angel wing on the other.
That sounds awesome.
Yes.
It's like one of the cards, right?
Yeah, Change of Heart is Bakura's card. So it's essentially like it splits in the middle, and on one side is a demon, and on the other side is an angel. And it's so pretty. So those are my two dream cosplays. They'll happen one day.
It'll take her like a solid year to make.
Probably.
Realistically speaking, because she's a perfectionist. I'm learning things. How to cosplay effectively. How about you?
That one, okay, so I guess I approach cosplay different from other people because straight out of the gate, like one of my first costumes I did was my dream costume, and it was Ocarina of Time Zelda. Because I just can't contain myself. I'm like, I gotta do this right now. So if I was to remake a cosplay, I would remake her because she's my best bae. I love her so much. I can't believe I used the word bae.
You did.
It's okay, there's worse words you could
I'm like,
have used.
oh no.
No, not bae.
No, she's my fave. I love Ocarina of Time Zelda. I just like her design is so classic to me, and it was one of the big influencing games of my
Big time.
life.
Same. Love that game.
So if I could go back and redo that one, I'd love to do that one because when I did it, it was ages ago, and my skill level has expanded
Definitely
so much
increased.
since then. So I'd love to do it. That's still my dream cosplay. I call it still my dream cosplay, even though I've already done it.
Yeah. You can have those, 100%. Like
Yeah.
things that you were just really comfortable wearing and just like really liked becoming that person.
Julie did a fabulous Ocarina of Time Zelda, which is like
I second that.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
a big inspiration for me to want to do remake mine because I'm like, this could be this
Stabs
nice.
herself.
Then I want to do it.
Yes. All right, so your husbando asked a question.
King
She's
of
like,
Chardonnay,
what are your best and worst con experiences?
Best and worst con experiences? Best YetiCon, hands down. It is so
We're
much
doing it again.
fun.
I think, are we
wish
all going?
I can't
Yes,
go
we
this
are.
year.
Yes.
Oh no, you're
I
not.
can't go. No, because Jimmy and I are going to Taiwan.
Okay, that's a big trip.
And that's
Okay.
really expensive. So that's why I'm doing like only Otakuthon this year.
Okay.
But I went last year and it was so much fun. And
Was that
Jimmy
your first year?
Yeah, it was my
Okay,
first
cool,
year.
cool,
And Jimmy
cool.
was Bandit Keith from Yu-Gi-Oh! So he's just going around screaming like, America! And it was just so funny, and we had so much fun.
I'm so sad I didn't know you guys then, man. God.
Oh, it was so much fun. And I remember
man.
we got upgraded to a better room with a pool view. And then all of a sudden we're on the balcony and we just see our two friends' head pop up from the other side, from the other balcony. They're
Okay.
like, we got upgraded too. It was
Yes.
so much fun. Oh, it was so much fun. I can't think of a bad con experience though. Like nothing that stands out like the good one. Like
Interesting.
So much fun.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wish I could go this year.
Yeah.
We'll take pictures.
I would probably say that YetiCon is like my top good experience. Like just generally as a con itself, it's fabulous. So it's really fun to go to that one. If I was gonna say my worst con experience, if I had to pick one, which it's really hard to think of them, which is awesome.
It is, huh?
I would probably say that it's a great experience and a bad experience at the same time, but the year that Megan and I did WCS, it was a bad experience in that like it was high tension and high stress,
Yes,
a big
I can
competition.
imagine.
And it was the week before while we were like crushing to finish the last little bits, I got bit by something on my foot, and I had a massive allergic reaction, and my foot swelled up to about twice the size that it was, like 7 days before the competition. And the boots that I had made, the leg armor, I had to slip my leg through to get my shoe on, and so I couldn't fit my foot into my armor anymore.
No.
So like, I had a swollen foot. My foot was in massive pain. I had this like spider bite that I didn't know where it came from because of course, you know,
spiders.
so I'm like, that would probably be it. But then in the end, everything went really well. Like, the competition was great, but it wasn't even the convention experience itself.
Yeah.
It was the lead up of like, how am I gonna walk around without one shoe?
The not knowing.
Because like the worst con I've been to was probably at North, but I still had tons of fun. So I wouldn't call it a bad con experience.
Okay, so
these questions are awesome.
Asks, if you had unlimited crew or mats at your disposition, what would be the craziest cosplay you'd want to do? I'm guessing that means like unlimited supplies, like money not an option, like you can make it, like money and material is not the issue.
I'm making that one next year, and it's gonna be
damn girl!
It's gonna be, I'm doing it for Jimmy, and he's doing the Paladin from Final Fantasy 14.
Oh my god.
So it's gonna be my first full armor, essentially.
Wow.
So that's gonna be the one. Like, that's gonna be an expensive one, and we're still gonna do it.
Sometimes you just gotta go for it.
I just gotta go for it.
I don't think I have an answer for that one personally. I don't know.
Because Bandit Spurs has no limits.
It's kind of like when I see something, when I see costume, I make costume and I just make it work with whatever budget I have, sort of thing.
Also,
but
if it's really expensive, or you know it's gonna be really expensive,
you space it out.
You space it out. You do it over the course of a whole year. It could be your only costume, but instead of making 5 small ones, you make 1 big one, and the prices kind of even out.
Yeah, that's true. Smart. These ladies are really smart, unlike me. What is the most satisfying thing or feeling about doing cosplay?
Oh, seeing the people's faces light up when they see your costume.
Like
and
your Anja Woman, I swear, I think I almost cried.
Oh my god, I love it so much.
Because that was like my childhood.
It's so satisfying to see people connect with something that you've spent so much time working on. And like, I don't want to be like a Debbie Downer, but there can be so much negativity online that when you get into these like one-on-one experiences with people at conventions and you see why this hobby is so amazing, it's just like.
And I think that's what solidifies what you guys were saying earlier about like really doing characters that mean a lot to you and like becoming the characters that you really are passionate about because you want to see that same reaction out of other people, right? So it just like makes that whole experience and going to a convention and socializing your cosplay just so much better.
Yeah.
That's actually why I'm pretty excited about my Dark Magician from Yu-Gi-Oh! Because Yu-Gi-Oh! Is one of those series kind of like Digimon where when people relate, they relate hard. So when they recognize what you are, it's like,
you've activated my trap card.
Essentially. That's really love it. And because it's a fandom that I'm like in love with and always loved, but still never cosplayed from it for some reason.
You're like, damn it.
Well, I didn't know what to do from it, to be honest, but now I'm feeling more confident. I'm even going to attempt to make Yugi for my husband.
Oh, wow.
So we can match.
That wig though.
And then I'm hoping that you'll still go and do Dark Magician.
I was just going to say, I'm still down skis to do your Dark Magician girl.
How awesome would that be?
Guys,
Yugi,
are there cosplay plans happening on Cosplay Cave right now?
Well, not anytime soon. We've talked about this before. It wouldn't be now, but
no.
Can I just talk about how sturdy this wig stand is?
That wig stand impresses me so much.
This entire time.
It's so good.
Haven't you? Wait, Liz, what did you call her?
Hortense.
Oh my god. I'll get my hands off you now. Keeping my hands to myself. Well, this has been super entertaining, guys. I'm like, I can't believe. I low-key wish I had a wig that I can like test all these combs and brushes on. These would super interest me.
These are really neat. I like T-pins. T-pins are an underused item in wig styling.
Yeah,
they're
like
awesome.
them. Yeah.
What are these?
T-pins. They're
Teach me.
They're for wig heads and holding wigs.
Oh,
down.
really? Like you don't use those like?
Because I mean, like she's got a straight pin. But a T-pin like.
Well, essentially the wig can fall out of this.
Yes,
it can
if
just
you
come straight
pull it,
off. Whereas
yeah.
a T-pin is like, it's got its arms up so the wig
Yeah,
can't
so
come past
even
it.
the ones, like I'll use the one with the little ball at the tip.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Unless you're going straight through like the fiber.
Like, I go
of,
all the way
weft.
down.
No, but I mean like, you know how wefts are sewn to,
Yeah.
like if you go through that, then that holds it on better. But if you kind of miss the weft, if you miss
Then
the
it
actual
won't.
body
It'll
of the
just
weft,
go right through.
yeah,
It'll just fly out.
it'll flip off.
Whereas this has like a wide side to it, so it'll actually hold the wig down.
Oh, they're too long for my wig because mine, well, it's first of all,
Yeah.
it's made of this, but there's little holes
True.
in it. So I'm gonna do a little shout out to Miss Emilie because she's the one who finalized the 3D print. So she took the file, she added the hole that's here, so I could put it on a wig stand, and she added like little holes in it that she filled with like essentially Lumen's work foam.
Okay,
Yeah,
so,
so,
that you can
then
actually-
I have areas where I can actually pin the wig into my head. Otherwise, I couldn't pin it because
That's
this
smart.
is plastic. Yeah.
Huh.
And she came up with the idea. I was like, that's so smart. Thank you.
I was wondering, I was like, it's just like staying on there.
Yeah, and that's where I buy all. I don't know if I should do the shout out. Anyways,
Yeah.
She's like, I don't know, should I, shouldn't I?
I don't know. I don't know if she's still taking commissions, but she was for a while, and she does good work. So.
Miss Messy Mia, right?
Your 3D printing
Yeah, I've heard about her.
commissions?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, she does good work, but I know sometimes she closes down. So.
I'm just like staring right into her eyes. Like I've been doing that the entire time. I'm like looking at Emilie and looking at her doppelganger, and I'm just like, okay. Oh, can you point it that way?
If you guys want to see it again, look at it. I look so messy right now because of the wig.
She's like, this is what
But
I
it's
look
getting there. Look.
Yeah.
It's gonna look nice, I think, once it's done.
God, all this, like when you see the wig done, you don't realize how tedious it is to actually do all those.
I have to do
little
the other
steps.
side, and then I have to show Katya how to do it too for her poppy, and I'm just like, this is gonna take forever.
It's okay. Like at the end of it, you just feel like so.
I feel I love
Wig styling is
accomplished.
awesome.
So my favorite feeling, actually, as much as I love also meeting, like I know when I wear Star Guardian Lux, the only positive I have is like I have little girls who don't quite know what I am,
No,
but I'm
you are.
pink and shiny, so they love it, and they come out and you're like, I love it. But my favorite is when you do something and it comes out perfectly. You're like, this is exactly what I wanted. It does not happen that often, but when it
can't
does,
relate.
I'm like, that's probably why I didn't choose that one, because everything comes out like it's been chewed on by a dog the first time.
but you can do it.
I'm gonna redo that.
Yeah, but sometimes you have to redo it several times over. But when it's finally perfect, you're like, wow, oh, I'm so happy. Like, oh, feels so good, feels so good. That's why we do it.
Guys, is it time?
Aw.
Oh my God, no! Remind me her name.
Hortense.
Hortense. It's time to go. All right, so thank you everyone for joining us. This was such a great first cosplay cave. Man, as soon as I started stuttering, I was like, this is it, this is the end. The bombs will go off now. No, but it's fine, everything went well. I'm so glad that I got to spend some time with Chelsea and Emilie, AKA Bandit Spurs and Emilie Gauvin Creations.
Yes.
So do check out their links that are, I think, in the bio. Correct? Yes. And thank you to all our new followers and subscribers. Guys, keep spreading the word. If you guys are cosplayers and you want to be part of our show, send a message
so
to
fun.
us. And thank you to Arta Wigs Canada. This was like a huge, like,
I mean, it's a good coincidence that I had an Arta wig.
But
they're so good.
she gets to attest to the quality of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, I'm working with Debra from Arta Wigs Canada also, so.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Shameless plug then.
Seriously.
So up next is going to be Depth of Field starting at 9 p.m. So guys, stay tuned. It's going to be a great show. Hope you enjoyed Cosplay Cave. And we'll see you next week at the same time at 6:30. Bye, y'all.
Woo! Thank you.
Thank you.
That was so much fun.
That was actually really
I really enjoyed that.